Bonjour tout le monde, bienvenue à notre chaîne YouTube qui s'appelle GS Global Institute. C'est le 14e épisode du français à notre chaîne. Aujourd'hui, on va faire les pronoms sujets et les verbes. Est-ce que vous êtes prêtes? Good evening to all. Welcome to our YouTube channel, that is GS Global Institute. This is the 14th episode of French at our channel, and today we are going to learn les pronoms sujets and the verbs in French. But before starting, if you are new to this channel and have not subscribed our channel yet, please press subscribe button and press bell icon too to get further notifications from our channel. Also, the previous lectures are recorded and the links would be mentioned in the description. If you want to, then please go and visit and watch the previous episodes too. Okay, so let's start. So, our today's topic is les pronoms sujets. What is the pronom sujet? Pronom sujet is something which we call as subjects in English. Alright? For example, I, you, we, they, he, she. These all are the subjects. Okay? Similar is the case with the French. There are different kind of subjects which are known as les pronoms sujets in French. Okay, so now we are going to learn that what are these pronoun subjects. Okay, number one is je. Okay, je, which means I. Okay, tu, which means you. This is not tu, this is tu. Like you have to pronounce this you differently. Okay, je, tu. Tu is someone which means you, and that is informal. For example, you are addressing your friends, then you can use the word tu. Okay. Next is il, which is he, elle, which is she, nous, that is we, vous. We are not pronouncing S over here, and it is nous, vous. Vous also means you, but we use this for formal conversation. For example, you are talking to your senior or someone which is higher in rank in your professional life. You use formal words, and accordingly you will use vous. Also, vous is also used in the sense of they, that is plural of tu. Okay, so for example, 2-3 persons are standing and you want to address them, you will say vous. Okay, next is il, elle. Now, one thing that might confuse you here is this il and elle have the same pronunciation as that of these. Okay, here S is written over here, but it is not pronounced. Okay, so this is il el, and this il el is different from that of the above, but the difference only is that this is for the plural masculine. Okay, that is in the sense of they. For example, if 4-5 boys are standing there, you will say il, and if 4-5 girls are standing there, or more than that even, you will say elle, that is for the femina. Okay, so just have a look. Je means I, tu means you, il means he, elle means she, nous means we, vous means you, that is something formal, and also is used for they, that is plural of tu. Next is il, that is they for masculine, and next is elle, that is they for feminine. Okay, so now we are going to move forward, that is towards the verbs. Okay, students, so what are verbs? These are the same as that we did in English. Verbs are something where action is occurring. Some sort of action is occurring, that is known as verbs. Okay, so in French there are two types of verbs basically. Number one, irregular verbs, and number two, regular verbs. So these irregular verbs are of various kinds, but here I have written the three, that is être, avoir, and aller. Okay, but the regular verbs are divided into three types, that is ER verbs, RE verbs and IR verbs. Okay, but initially in today's lecture we are going to do only the irregular verbs, only these three kinds of verbs. There are further kinds of verbs also for the irregular category, but today we are going to do these three verbs only. Okay, that is être, avoir and aller. I will tell you that what are these verbs and what do they mean. Number one verb is être. Être means to be. Okay, we have done this in English as well, but at that time in our lower classes we have learned the things as they are and have not gone into the depth. So in English as well we use, like with I we use am, with you we use are, with they we use are. Okay, and similarly with he she we use is. Okay, same is the case with the être, and être actually means to be. That is the same as that in English, as we use am, is, are with I, he she it and they. Similar is the case. This is known as conjugation, that is we try to conjugate, we learn that what comes with I, we, you, they in French. Okay, so number one is je, that is I. What is conjugated with je, that is je suis. Suis, S-U-I-S, suis. Je suis, that is I am. Okay, number two, tu es. Tu es, which means you are, but in an informal sense. Okay, number three is il, elle, that is a. Il, a, elle, a, which means he is, she is. Okay, so I'm not actually trying to revise English over here, but definitely I have to make the comparison so as to make you people understand. Okay, next is nous sommes. Nous sommes, so this is we are kind of thing in English. Vous êtes. Vous êtes, this is E, chapeau, T-E-S, which means you are. Next is ils ont, elles ont, that is they are. Okay, this is for masculine and this is for feminine. Okay, so this might seem difficult for you at first, but this is not difficult at all. It's just a matter of practice. You have to learn these things. Okay, and after that the things would become very much easy. Okay, so the number one is je suis, which means I am. Number two is tu es, which means you are in informal sense. Next is il est, elle est. Always with il and elle, same conjugation is used. Okay, for example with he and she, also in English we use is. He is, she is. Similar is the case with the French, il est, elle est. Okay, next is nous sommes. Nous sommes, which means we are. Vous êtes, you are. This vous is used for you in an formal sense and for they also. Okay, so you use vous êtes, this S and E gets connected and produce sounds like Z. Okay, vous êtes. Okay, next is ils ont, elles ont. Okay, so this was the first verb, and now we are going to move towards the next verb, that is avoir. So what is avoir? That means to have. Okay, for example, if I have something, I will say I have this. Okay, you have this, he has this, she has this. Okay, so to possess something, to have something is known as avoir. Okay, and what are the conjugations for these? So do not worry if you are unable to understand this for the time being. Just watch this video 2 to 3 times. If you are unable to do so, you will get to know, you will be able to grasp these things. Okay, so conjugation means, just like I told you that with I use have. Okay, with he I use has. Okay, and with she I use has. So although this have has means the possession over here, this have has means the possession over here, but we are using the different words, that is have, has and has. Similar is the case with the avoir in French. We will use the different words, different conjugations to represent the possession. Okay, for example, if there is I, then what would be the possession called with the I? Okay, with you, with he, she. Okay, so what we use for avoir, that is j'ai. This is what J apostrophe AI, and it forms a sound like j'ai, which means I have. Okay, tu as, which means you have, but in a formal sense, in an informal sense, sorry. Okay, next is il a, elle a, which means he has, she has. Nous avons. Okay, this is S and avons gets connected and collectively forms nous avons. This means we have. Okay, next is vous avez. This again S and avez gets connected and it forms vous avez, which means you have. Okay, next is ils ont, elles ont. Ideally this is on, but in French we do not start anything with vowel. I mean, we start things with vowel. These are also vowel, il and l, but the second word, which is behind the first word, is not pronounced all alone. It is always connected if it starts with the vowel. For example, if there is il and this is on, so what will happen? This s and this vowel will get connected and the collective sound will be produced, and accordingly this produces a sound like ils ont, elles ont. Okay, so let's have a vision again over this so as to make you better understand. Number one is j'ai, which means I have. As I mentioned you in the pronoun subjects that je is used for I, but here I have used only J because if I have written E over here, then there is A as well over here. So in French, remember one thing, that two vowels cannot come together. For example, it had been je and A, but these are the two vowels, so they cannot come together. So what happens is the first vowel gets omitted and an apostrophe is added, and accordingly it becomes J apostrophe A I. Okay, so this becomes the exact conjugation. Okay, so this is j'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont. Okay, so this is the conjugation with avoir. So now we are going to move towards the third irregular verb, that is aller. So this aller means basically to go. For example, I want to say that I go, she goes, he goes. Accordingly, S and ES is getting added to, which is with respect to the tenses. Okay, same is the case here also. This is known as actually the thing we are doing. For example, I go, you go, the things we are adding with I, you, that is actually known as conjugation. And similar is the case with the conjugation over here. What we are doing, we are adding a word specifically for the irregular verb. So this is only the irregular verb that seems a bit difficult, but the regular verbs are very much easy, and even they are not that much difficult if you keep on practicing. These are actually the basics of the French, so you have to learn in the initial phase, and then we are going to move towards the next steps. So what you have to do is, after watching this video, you have to learn them as they are. Okay, next is aller verb. So what is this aller verb? This is to go. Okay, for example, I want to say I go, then I will say je vais. This is VAIS, je vais. If I want to say you go, I will say tu vas. Again, this S is not pronounced here. Okay. Je vais, tu vas, il va, elle va, nous allons. Again, the same rule applies over here. This S and A gets connected and it forms nous allons. Next is vous allez. This S and A gets connected over here and it forms vous allez. Ils vont, elles vont. Okay, so the conjugation for masculine plurial and feminine plurial remains the same. Same is the case with the masculine and feminine. The conjugation remains the same for all of the verbs. Okay, so now just have a look over this verb once again. So how are they pronounced? Je vais, tu vas, il va, elle va, nous allons, vous allez, ils vont, elles vont. Okay, so these are the verbs. So now what we are going to do, I am going to give you a small exercise for this irregular verbs. So what you have to do, you will be given a minute and you have to write down these conjugations on your notebook for better understanding. If you are unable to do so, even then do not worry, just learn them and try this exercise once again. Okay, and after the end of this 1 minute, I will discuss this exercise too. So here is your exercise. That is this. So number 1 is you have to conjugate the eth verb. Okay, so this is actually the exercise, and what you have to do is you have to answer the conjugation, and your time starts now. So let's move towards the answers. Number 1 is what is the conjugation with je, that is suis, je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, this is est, and this a has the same pronunciation, but you have to take care with this, that with tu this is es and with il, this is est. Okay, with no it is som. And what is the conjugation that we use? The conjugation is basically et, and what we use before this is vous. Okay, il, elle, ont. Okay, so now let's move towards the next exercise, that is with the avoir. So again I am giving you 30 seconds to answer this, so start doing it. Okay, so let's have the answers for this. Number 1 is j'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, nous avons, vous avez, and ils ont, elles ont. Okay, so these are the answers, and this is it with today's topic. But before ending, students, I want to add on a thing over here. Students, JS Global Institute is located in Jagraon, Punjab, and we deal in with various services such as PR application, study visa, IELTS preparation, SOP formation, and many more. So if you have any problem regarding or any query regarding the immigration process, feel free to contact us. I will mention the details in the description. So, if you require any kind of support here in India or in abroad as well, you can contact us. And thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked my video, please press like button and do not forget to subscribe the channel as well and press bell icon too to get further notifications. And yes, please do not forget to share my video too. Thank you so much. I will come up with the next lesson. Till then, stay tuned to our channel. Au revoir.